No Country for Old Men is a 2007 neo-noir western film directed by the Coen brothers based on the Cormac McCarthy novel of the same name. Set in the violent 1980s West Texas landscape, an ordinary man, Llewellyn Moss, played by Josh Brolin, comes across a drug deal gone bad and $1 million in cash. By taking the money, he sets off a violent game of cat and mouse between himself, a psychotic killer, and an old lawman on the verge of retirement. Through this video essay, I will consider the first minute of No Country for Old Men and argue that the mise-en-scène, cinematography, editing, and sound contribute to the latter theme, that our futures are inevitably connected to our past action. The mise-en-scène in the opening sequence serves to establish the notion that Anton Chigurh, the film's main antagonist, is more of a representation of destiny, the Grim Reaper, and chaos than an actual character. In the preceding image of the police car, we can see Chigurh placed in dark, low lighting as the deputy is fully lit. This continues into the following scene, where we see Chigurh in the background. Just as the deputy puts down the phone, Chigurh pulls the deputy up, creating uneasiness. During the struggle, Chigurh's face is blocked and not shown, further emphasizing that he represents an idea rather than a character. The floor is a representation of the movie's landscape. It is pristine until Chigurh comes and begins to kill. The deputy's uniform is the same color as the floor as he blends into the landscape along with the rest of Chigurh's future victims. Conversely, Chigurh's all-black costume and the abstract marks caused by the struggle symbolize the terror that he is about to inflict on the region. We finally see Chigurh's face for the first time. The expression on his face says it all. He is not looking at his victim. In fact, he casts a cringeworthy smile showing that killing is nothing to him. He does not choose to kill, he merely does what has to be done. It's destiny, which becomes a recurring motif throughout the film. The cinematography helps to establish the bleak and violent tone of the film. The establishing shot frames the deputy straight on and in full light, while Chigurh is out of focus and standing in the shadows of death and destiny. As he walks forward, thanks to the use of a wide-angle lens, he grows larger when blocked next to the deputy, dominating the frame. Anton pulls the deputy from the light of the desk to the darkness of the floor, with a downward tilt that shifts our perspective. Wide shots help to reestablish our perspective, while close-ups serve to show the emotion of the deputy's face, all while blocking Anton's face out of the frame. Anton's face is finally introduced via a bird's-eye view shot, which contorts from side to side and dollies inward as if God were looking down on this psychopath. This helps introduce us to Anton as something otherworldly and not human. As blood spews from the deputy's neck, we get a close-up to intimately introduce us to the killer. The editing in the first minute of the film helps establish the pace of the film as well as Chigurh's place within the narrative through a mix of continuity and rhythmic editing.
And a hose that run down his sleeve.
The slow pacing of the previous cuts in the establishing dolly shot lead to a cut on action, emphasizing Chigurh's brutality and the inevitability of fate closing in on the deputy. The next cut on action brings us even closer. We then cut to a wide shot to re-establish our perspective on the floor, followed by quick cuts that take us closer into the deputy and closer to his fate. We then cut to a bird's eye view shot, which serves to establish Chigurh as the bringer of fate, giving it a face. Another quick cut between a wide and close-up serves to rack up the tension to a climax. As the deputy's neck bursts, a series of match-on actions slow the pace down, finally cutting to a close-up of Anton shifting the focus away from the deputy who has met his fate and become another insignificant part of the landscape.
I just walked in the door. Sheriff, he had some sort of thing on him, like a oxygen tank for emphysema or something, and a hose that run down his sleeve. You got me. Well, you can look at it when you get in. Yes, sir. I got it under control.